Hi Trifantry squad, welcome to season 2 of 2021. Season 2 is getting kick-started by none other than Col Bharat Pannu. He's a legend in making. I want to call him a legend because it's something, it's a story that he's still building out. Legends are usually people who are, when we think about them, it's all about history and what people did in 1800s or 1700s. But he's a legend in the making. Why a legend? Because he has done a race that you can name, unlimited number of races, distances, speed, it does not matter. Col Bharat has done ultra spice. He's broken many world records. He's built his own reputation as someone who gets out there and gets it done. Without further ado, let me welcome Col Bharat Pannu. Col Pannu, welcome to the show and thank you for kickstarting season 2.
Thanks, Nishan. Thanks for having me here.
It's so nice to have you here, knowing fully well that you just completed and came first in one of the toughest races in the country, Ultra Spice, in an unsupported ride. How was that experience? And tell the viewers more about what the race distance was, what it is all about.
Ultra Spice race is the longest race which India is having at present. This was the 5th edition in 2021. I've been participating in this race since 2017 and I've participated in all the editions. This year I participated in the longest one segment, which was 1200 kilometers. It was restricted due to the COVID restrictions in Kerala, and otherwise generally the race distance is about 1750 kilometers and it is Goa, Uti and back. So this time it was Goa, Coorg and back to Goa, and I did the unsupported version of 1200 kilometers and stood first in that category.
Okay, so there are two categories of racers in this race, right? There is a crew supported ride, and then there is an unsupported. What is the difference between two, and why did you specifically choose the more difficult one, or I would say different format of the race? Not undermining any race or distance. I'm sure it's difficulty wise it would be same. However, but why did you choose this format?
Difference between the supported and the unsupported version is just that in the unsupported version, as the name suggests, you have to take care of all your requirements, whether it be nutrition, the mechanical breakdown, the bike maintenance, hydration, nobody's there, navigation, and your sleep management. All you have to take care on your own. In case of the supported version, in which the crew members are there to support you, there are backup vehicles behind you who take care of you in night time, in daytime, in which the hydration, the nutrition, the navigation, the rider, whatever the requirements are, they are met by the crew, which is right behind him. They have a communication between them. It can be through radio or hand signals or the verbal communication, but all the requirements of the rider are met immediately as soon as the rider faces any issues. So it can't be said that which version is difficult or which version is easier. The difficulty is equal, but rider is having a sense of safety as well as comfort. That is, crew is behind him. And the unsupported version, the rider has to take care of the aspects which he might face in future. In future means in few hours. He needs to have the backup of all the hydration, nutrition with himself. He needs to have a backup for that if my bike breaks down, then what I have to do. So he is on his own.
You've made it sound very simple. I'm sure the difficulty levels would continue to mount when you are into, let's say, 20 hours of sleeplessness or for 30 hours of sleeplessness. How do you manage that psychology, and what is that deep motivation or that deep thought that you have with yourself to keep going when you know that you're probably just 300, 400, 500 kilometers into the race and 700, 800 kilometers still there to come with different weathers, different altitudes, all of that. What is the conversation that is going on in your head?
So as soon as I start the race, the meter starts and the clock is running. So as you are an ultra runner, you have done marathons. So in the initial 10 kilometers, you have done marathons. So in the initial 10 kilometers, you have a target that I have to do it within so much of time. And so the main target, which is the 42 kilometers, will be achieved in so much of time. So like this, I also have a target for myself. Each ultra rider has a target that I will do the initial 100 kilometers in this, 200, 300, 400. So that's how the clock works. So whenever there's a tendency that I tend to feel sleepy, I have a target in front that yes, I cannot sleep before achieving the target. Or if I sleep, I will be deviating from my target by this much, the number of hours or number of minutes which I'll be sleeping. So there's a carrot hanging in front of me that I have to just do this much kilometers and then I'll be sleeping in all glory. So that's how we just push ourselves, we don't sleep, and we just keep moving. That is the key to complete such a race, which is like ultra distance.
Oh yeah, sounds again you've I would say made it sound easier. I'm sure the actual race is much more grueling, and experiences that the highs and lows that you're going through must be so overwhelming at times, right?
Yes, there are many difficulties which are like unforeseen. There, every race has its own aura, on difficulties, and the same uh, the same route has his own difficulties every time. So, like for this ultra spice, I don't feel sleepy on the first day itself, but I felt sleepy when I was crossing Chikmagalur, and I had to perforce take a 15 minutes of rest break on day one itself, like which deviated me from about 30 minutes from my target, but it is okay. You tend to face such conditions because the temperatures were less, about 7 degrees to 8 degrees in Chikmagalur, and it was getting difficult to ride at that point of time. So it was better to take a 15 minutes of break and then continue.
Okay. So, tell me, how did you get into the sport? And if people are listening to you today or watching you on YouTube or the podcast, and they're absolute beginner, what are the few things that you would tell people that this is something that you should start off with? This is the motivation behind it, and then probably distances and speeds and all can be scaled up.
Yes. So all it started like I used to cycle since my childhood. I used to go to my school, tuitions, everywhere. I used to travel on cycle, commute on cycle. Uh, I stopped cycling since I entered my college. Then the initial 10 years of army life in army was without cycle. So for 15 years, after 15 years of break in cycling, I again resumed my cycling in 2015, and that was just for fitness and just moving around in the local areas. So I was posted in Jammu, and it has got good surroundings nearby. So the aim was to visit nearby places on the weekends, and that's how it all started. I used to have a target of 100 kilometers in a week. So that was my big target, and initially I was not able to achieve it. It was difficult because it requires consistent effort on daily basis to achieve that 100-kilometer mark in a week. And I used to ride about 20 kilometers per day. So that used to make minimum 5 rides in a week to make it to that 100. In later part of the year, I was able to achieve that 100-kilometer mark easily, and I increased it to 125 kilometers for a week. So that is how it all started. It was like baby steps towards the bigger goal. At that point of time, I was not aware that people generally cycle for 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers in a single go, in a single ride. So I was just not aware of all these things. So that was like my kick. Okay, I was achieving 125 kilometers in a week. And as soon as my move to Nasik happened in September 2016, I came to know that there are stalwarts who do 200 kilometers, 400, 600, 1000, 2000, 5000. So there is no end to it. So that's how that ignited something in me, and I also explored those areas, that how can I increase my mileage and the distance. So initially it was very difficult. I used to face a lot of problems because my nutrition and hydration requirements were not, I was not uh, um, clear with those aspects. So I used to face a lot of problems. I used to get fever. I used to feel feverish after the rides. So, and I used to cross like 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers. It used to become unbearable for me. So that's how it all started. But by the time in 2-3 months, that is November 2016, I did the Dhule Nasik Dhule 300 kilometer brevet. and that I finished in 12 hours, almost 12 hours, 15 minutes. So that was the point, which was the start. So the crowd there, they realized that okay, there's somebody known as Bharat who has done in 12 hours, and they motivated me to go to the next step. They told that you are already in a physical form where you can attempt Deccan Cliffhanger. So that's how I came to know about a race known as Deccan Cliffhanger in Pune, which is Pune to Goa, and that's how it all started. It gave me the kick, and I used it as a path to move ahead.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? When you start off on any journey, you do not really have the clarity of what lies ahead. But it is so important to get started on a journey without even knowing, fully well the concepts that will help you to keep going. But I always tell my athletes as well as my viewers is that get started. In India, there is a only 1%, in fact less than 1% penetration of fitness industry or fitness activities that people actively engage. It could be through gymming, it could be cycling, it could be running. Less than 1% of the Indian population, which is right now around 150 crores, not even 1.52 crore people are actively spending resources, time, money, and setting goals for fitness. Probably, I think that happens because they are not clear about the concepts. There is a lot of negativity, or there is a lot of myths around that area. And what do you have to say about that? Like how you and I and probably thousands of us ultra cyclists, ultra runners can contribute to getting that less than 1% Indian population to probably 5% and then 10%.
Yes, very right. I was since 30 till my 30 years or 32 years of age, I was part of that 99% of population. I was never into sports, whether it be my school, college, or army life. I was just good at running, and that running helped me scale through all the training in army and everything that but I was never into sports, and I was part of that 99% of population. So how that switch happened? So in the past 10 years, a big change has happened in Indian society, in which sports are coming in a big way. Whether the parents are making their children pursue sports as a part of active education policy, as part of education itself, and they are aiming that their children should do good for the country, for themselves in coming years. And for the age group, our age group, we have also seen a big change, and people are coming out from their homes on weekends, on weekdays, in the mornings, whether it be gym, sport, any other sport, whether it be football, cricket, or cycling, running. So all these sports, a lot of participation has increased. We can have seen major players like sporting companies. So their promotions are happening, sponsorship is increasing. So all this is increasing because a lot of people are coming into this sport. So a lot of changes happened. I started active participation in ultra cycling since November 2016, and since then, I've seen, I've not stopped myself to pursue a next goal. So similar to me, there have been countless number of people whom I know who have started recently, and they are just pushing their limits, and they are inspiring the general population in many ways, so that they can also come out of their comfort zones and just pursue sports for physical and healthy body and healthy mind.
Right. We were just having this conversation before we started recording this episode, where you mentioned that people around us get more motivated by real life examples and peers and colleagues rather than celebrities or influencers or actors for that matter. This is such a wonderful thought, isn't it? Because we are most likely to be affected by the immediate 10 or 20 people rather than some ex-celebrity who changes their physical routines and all based on the roles that they're playing.
Yeah, very true. It's correct. We definitely get inspired or motivated by the people who are just around us. And if we see that, yes, he can do it, then I can also do it.
Yeah. It's amazing. So I want to know that in the last 5 years, you have been doing all types of races possible across the world. What are your top 5 races, top 5 expeditions that are very close to your heart?
Uh, First and foremost, the Ultra Spice race, which is organized by Divya Tate, Inspire India Ultra Cycling Community in India. So that is the race where it all started in January 2017. So with the first edition of Ultra Spice. And if I say what is the best race of my till date, it was Ultra Spice 1750 kilometer race in 2019. So that was the year when I was going to participate in race across America, and complete crew of mine, as well as the strategy and all the logistics which were to be tested for race across America 2019, which was supposed to happen in June. We put everything to test in January 2019 in the Ultra Spice race, and we just nailed it. We our team came first, and we set up a new record as well for that route. So which continues to hold till date. So that was an awesome race with all the technicalities. I had a bare minimum sleep during those 4 days, and the complete dynamics which we were testing, it was just flawless. And so top 5 races, one is Ultra Spice, second is so I'll be telling all the races which I've done already. So second is race around Austria. It was a 2,200 kilometer race which I did in 2017 with my partner Darshan Dubey. And third is I did the Guinness Book of World Record for Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So that is very close to heart, because that race or that event I did after my collarbone broke, and the collarbone broke in US when I was just in a training ride just before the race across America 2019. So I was unable to perform in that race, participate in that race. And I came out of that injury and I did Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So it was a real morale booster for myself and my team as well. So I completed with 3 Ultra Spice, race around Austria, and Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Fourth is virtual race across America, which I did in 2020. So as I was not able to participate in race across America 2019, I was slated to participate in 2020, but due to the pandemic of COVID, the race was cancelled, and it was organized on a virtual platform where we were able to cycle at the comfort of our homes. The distance and the difficulties, I think, were even more than what it actually poses, because riding in the close confines of our homes in a single room for 12 days is just mentally punishing. And if you have to see like how difficult it can be, you just have to do it. There's no other option. So, and it was a big achievement for any Indian that I became the first finisher, like I became the first podium finisher ever in any international ultra cycling event, by standing third in that virtual race across America. So that was a big achievement, not for just me, for the complete Indian cycling community as well. And then comes the fourth one is the Leh Manali, which I did in 2020 during in October 2020. So that was just awesome. It was a short event of 35 hours, but it was completely grueling. It tested all my determination, mental strength, grit, and just not me, my crew as well. The temperatures in which we were riding was -12, -10, -12. It was just riding in a deep freezer, and it was just unbearable, but we stood up to the challenge and we did it. So I'm the Guinness record holder for that Leh to Manali distance as well. So these are like 5 events. Other than this, I've done like any number of more events, but these are like the favorite ones.
Wow, yours easy sounds a Mount Everest kind of a climb for most of us. 135, you like 135 hours was a short ride.
That Leh to Manali was 35 hours. 35 hours, about 20 minutes.
Oh, 35. Okay.
Yeah.
It's I think it all boils down to, you have to choose your heart, right? For the more number of hours you go through that pain cave over and over and over again, that becomes your easy eventually. It's never easy, right? Like you mentioned, doing even 20 kilometers in your Jammu days 2016, versus now when you are looking at doing 1200 kilometers or even 5000 kilometers non-stop for 12 days. It's never easy, right?
Yes, you just come up to that level by training yourself, and training is very important. Without training, you can stand in that race for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but not more than that. Your body will give away, it will shatter like the pack of cards.
Okay, so Colonel Bharat, I want to ask this very fundamental question. If someone is starting out today and probably is an enthusiast in running or cycling, I think the principles remain the same in any ultra high impact or medium impact activity. What are these 4 or 5 areas that you want the beginner to know? It could be around food, nutrition, whatever. So what are your 4 or 5 things that a beginner should look at to become a good athlete and start participating in any X, Y, Z races?
Yes, be it in any sport, whether it be cycling, running, or any other sport, you just have to first figure out like what is my first target, and a target with a timeline. Because I consider target without a timeline is no target. So just figure out a target, and the target can be set out with the help of your peers and with your athletes who are close to you. So they can help you out in setting your first target. What are the equipment you want for that target? Just have that in front of you and start training for it. You can train on your own, or you need help, you can take advice from your colleagues, or in the whatever form you want. Other than that, you have to just not train yourself, you have to train. The training also includes your nutrition. So nutrition is very important, and nutrition is of two types: before the event and during the event. So both these, because in any ultra event, the nutrition during the event is more important, because that keeps you going for those number of hours or days. So that keeps you moving. So all these aspects needs to be taken care. As Rome was not built in a day, so neither any athlete will become a super athlete in day one. Everybody starts from ground. So you just have to take care of the first step, then the second, then the fourth. So that's how you progress.
That's right. So cycling is considered to be a expensive sport. There are all types of gears that you would need for cycling, and even to start off, you would need a budget of maybe 20,000-30,000 rupees, and then it can go up to maybe 20 lakh, 30 lakhs also, depending on the kind of bikes that you're looking at. Are expensive equipments absolutely necessary? If yes, if no, what are your thoughts on it?
No, no sport is expensive or economical. I consider first of all your passion should be there. So if your passion is there, then everything becomes, you don't see the cost ever. So you always tend to manage things. What are the liabilities? What are the assets? So when your sport get into your assets, so you take off your liabilities and you just invest in your assets. So that is the first thing, and you pursue any sport within your financial limits. You know your limits. So that's how you take the first step. And I think cycling is also a really manageable sport. You can progress in this sport by taking baby steps. You can set your goals as you feel comfortable with, and there are multiple avenues in the country or outside as well where you can explore. It is just not the I'm just talking about the country. I'm considering outside international events also, where I've seen like people going outside the countries and participating in international events. There are brevees which are being conducted in Southeast Asia or other parts of the world. So you can go and participate there. Within Europe, like PPP is there, LEL is there. So all these events are low-cost events. They are not heavy on your pocket, and you can plan to participate in these events and with proper training, and without, I don't think it will be a big burden on anybody's pocket as well.
Okay.
And regarding one thing which I didn't touch is the equipment. So I think you should invest in the best of the equipment which is available, because that helps you in developing your sport as a better, it improves the way it should improve by buying or investing in like economical stuff or something like that. I don't know like how to mean it. Like many economical stuff is also very good. It depends on what suits you. So it is just not that the costliest of the equipment will only suit you. Like I'm taking my personal example. The saddle which I use is very economical. I'm using Physio saddle. I got it from US. So it's not that high-end saddle, but it suits me. It allows me to sit on that saddle for multiple days without any issues of saddle sores or anything. So that is the thing. You need to check out like what suits you the best. So whether it is costly or economical, that doesn't matter, but it should suit you.
Interesting point. I think at the beginning it all boils down to your passion, your consistency, and that love of sport. Beyond the initial flirtation that everyone has, ki, Arey, I want to do this, that, and after a few weeks it just dies down. That's what happens with everyone's graph. It goes like this, and then if you don't have passion, it won't go up. It will just come down. So yeah, passion is something super important. You're saying something.
Yes, I want to add here because yes, you're very right in saying that passion is very important for the start, but to maintain it, it requires consistency, and that consistency can be developed by three things. I think it is the ABC of any sport. It is the association which you pursue, like your peers. You to remain motivated, you need to have a complete association in which people are doing something. They're active, so they need to you will feel motivated on your own. You just have to start with your passion, but after that your motivation will come out of your association, that is your peers and colleagues. Second is books. So whatever you read, uh, like whatever you passionate about, you will read about it. So more you read, more you see on YouTube or something like that, the videos, the knowledge you gain, so that will help you in progressing ahead. C is like you participate in competitions. So you start, so that thing again comes back, the goal setting. So goal setting with a timeline. You participate in some competition, and it will definitely give you that kick. Yes, I have achieved something. So that will become an ingredient for going further ahead in that sport. So you have to participate in events. You have to have association. You need to read. So all these three things will keep that passion or that motivation fired up, and you'll keep progress.
This is gold mine for everyone. Your competitors, your peers. You're sharing your pandas and mantras that can be replicated. And I'm sure there is no magic potion as such, but you're still giving out your secrets. And even if 5-10 people today are able to take this and replicate this over the years, I think that's a win for the community.
Yes, definitely. I myself want that the community should increase, and the healthy competition will increase with time, and we will definitely grow up in the sport, not only at national level but at international level as well.
Absolutely. So we've come to the last segment of the show where I will be asking you a few questions in quick succession. I call it the rapid fire round. It will be all related to your sport. Are you ready to answer? You don't have to think, you have to just quickly answer.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. So, number one, what is your favorite cycling brand when it comes to cycling equipments?
I'm using Scott from past 4 years, and I just love it.
Okay. What is your favorite brand of jerseys or tri-suits?
The big shots which I've been using are of Scott, and earlier I've used other brands as well, but the Scott brand suits me very well. I'm just loving it. Yes.
Okay. 3 things that motivate you to get up every day in the morning.
The target which I have to achieve for that day, whether it be my strength training sessions or my long rides, because if I start late, then I end up late. So better to start early in the morning at 5 or 4 and just finish it first. Okay. That keeps me motivated and just keep going.
Okay. We have seen number of new records being broken or made in the last 5 years of Col Bharat's cycling journey. What lies ahead in the next 5 years?
So I'm looking forward to race across America, which has been my dream from past 4 years. It started in 2017 after race around Austria, and it still needs to be accomplished. And I'm just looking forward that in 2022 I will attempt that event, because in 2021 again the COVID, due to COVID restrictions, it is still in dilemma.
Okay. If not cycling, what other sports would you most likely to do?
Running.
Okay. Well, what is your favorite distance or races that you've done?
Earlier, I was like, my forte was running itself, and I used to do. I started with small running segments in army itself, and after that, I did one half marathon and one full marathon. But after that, like, there was some issues with my back, and I just had to just leave running to prevent my back. I had a severe low back pain issues, so I just continued with my cycling and left running a bit behind.
Okay. That's not a problem. I can get back on running with my passion running.
Yep.
Okay. What changes would you like to see in the Indian cycling community in terms of ethics, in terms of values, in terms of pushing the limits, and what are those 2-3 quick things that you would want to see change in the Indian cycling community?
Money has started flowing into the sport a lot, and a lot of foreign companies as well as Indian companies are taking interest into the sport, and they are promoting actively the athletes as well as the sport in all over the country. So in coming years, I want to see more participation from these sporting companies. So when money comes into any sport, it is two-way. It's never a single way. So more people are already participating day by day, and the companies are taking interest. So it is mutual thing going ahead. With more companies coming in, more money, prize money, and all that, the interest level of people will increase and the competitiveness will increase. So I want to see something in 5 years that more number of people participating and they aggressively chase for some target, and the finish is like Tour de France where people are just finishing in the last seconds. So right now the distance between the winner and the second runner-up is in hours. So I want to see it within minutes, that people are riding for that final kilometer and they're just chasing that target.
All right. What message would you like to give to drivers, bus drivers, truck drivers, or general taxi drivers, or people in general about respecting cyclists?
I would. The message will be in two parts. One will be for the cyclists, us, for our community itself. I've seen, like, I've been riding from past 4 years, more than 4.5 years now, and I generally train alone, and my 99% of training rides are alone, as well as in the time when I'm racing as well. So I tend to follow the traffic rules religiously. I ride on the left of the white line. So I've seen people going on training rides or the group rides in which they tend to ride as a group and occupy the road, half of the road. 3-4 people are riding next to them so that they can chit chat. So I don't think we ourselves are doing justice to those traffic rules. So we should take, firstly, we should correct ourselves and take this as a sport. It is not a activity which we are doing on highways for chit chatting and all. So accidents tend to happen, and that becomes a plot in the mind of people that cycling is a dangerous sport. It's not a dangerous sport for sure. You just have to stick to the rules. And I'm sure Indian these drivers, they are respecting the cyclists are also part of the road till the time we stick to the rules ourselves, because we are slow moving vehicles and we definitely disturb the normal routine and normal flow of traffic. So we have to be away from the traffic so that normal flow is not disturbed. So till the time we are not disturbing the flow, they will be riding on we are safe. I think that is the bottom line. We are safe till the time we are following the rules. Rest, we just leave it to, it is not that dangerous as we think. It is okay. I think it's okay.
All right. Next question. You've cycled in different types of terrains. What is your favorite terrain in the order of preference? High altitude, low altitude, decline, incline, or flats? What in order of preference?
Rolling is the best, which I prefer because it has ups and downs in a very, like, rolling is the first one. Second is the climbs. Third is the descent. High altitude, definitely it's another ball game. It's not to be it's not to be even considered, because it requires another set of separate training itself. We have to acclimatize for that, and riding in high altitude is just different. It is just another world, and everyone should experience it. And we are blessed to be in India, and Leh Ladakh is there with us, and everybody should go and explore Leh and Ladakh on cycle. It's just awesome.
Okay. Quick question on your bicycle computer and timing equipments. What is your favorite brand and what are the products that you currently use?
I've been using Garmin since day one, and the model which I am using is Garmin H1000. It has been flawless for me, no problems, and it suits all my requirements. There are other models also available, and I believe they must also be good, but my choice is Garmin, and that's it.
All right. Quick message to beginners. Why should they take up the sport of cycling or running or anything like that? Ultra, and how does it change your life?
So here I would say that everybody loves that. Like as a athlete or as a person, I love that everybody loves me. So if you want to be loved by everyone, then you should start loving yourself, and you should do something so that you stand out. So when you stand out, you will definitely gain attraction, or you will definitely gain more attention. So more people will come to you. So you will be more loved. You will be more attention seeker. So that's how that can be a kick which everybody looks forward to. So do something in your life which will seek attention of others. So that in one line, I will say that love yourself to be loved by others. Second, I would add the same thing which I had said earlier. Set up a goal for yourself, and a goal without a timeline is no goal. So set up a goal with a timeline.
Sure. When will we see Col Bharat doing an Ironman or a triathlon, or will we ever see in the future?
Ironman, yes. I myself want to do Ironman, but like my issue of low back ache, and that tends to just prevent me from taking that step ahead. So I'm just sticking on to cycling right now, which is my forte. Definitely in time to come, when I'm feeling satisfied that yes, whatever I wanted to achieve in cycling, I've done that. So whenever I want to explore new avenues, I would definitely go for triathlons and all these things. Ironman as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Col Bharat. You were an amazing guest with your answers. I am 100% sure whoever is listening till the end of this episode would have certainly been motivated, would have understood the concepts of cycling and what it takes psychologically. Any parting words for our viewers, listeners today?
Just love yourself, love the way, love whatever you do, and just live life full. Just don't stop anywhere. Life is very short. We have very stipulated time. Just do something which you love and just move ahead.
Thank you for this wonderful message. Trifantry squad, if you've stuck around till the end of this interview, I am 100% sure that you would look forward to seeing more of great personalities, legends in making such as Col Bharat. I will continue to bring amazing guests from around the world who are living the normal life, but also achieving extraordinary things like you've always loved us. So please like and subscribe to the channel and continue to train, to endure and to conquer. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, guys.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, Trifantry, click on the bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. Train, endure, conquer.